Have you ever tried holding your breath underwater? After just a few seconds, you probably wanted to come back for air. But fish spend their entire lives underwater. They never come up to breathe like whales or dolphins do. So, how do fish breathe? Let's dive into this amazing mystery. Just like humans, fish need oxygen to stay alive. Our lungs take oxygen from the air, but fish don't have lungs like we do. Instead, they have a special breathing organ called gills. But wait, you might ask, there is no air underwater? Actually, there is oxygen in water, but not as bubbles. Tiny oxygen molecules are dissolved in the water just like sugar dissolves in a glass of water. Fish have an amazing way of collecting this dissolved oxygen. The gills are located on both sides of a fish head. If you look closely at a fish, you will notice flaps behind its eyes. These are called gills covers, and they protect the delicate gills inside. Now let's see what happens when a fish breathes. First, the fish opens its mouth and takes in water. Instead of swallowing the water, it pushes the water across its gills. Inside the gills are thousands of tiny feather-like structures called gill filaments. These filaments have an enormous number of tiny blood vessels running through them. As water flows over the gills, oxygen moves from the water into the fish's blood through the thin walls of the gill filaments. At the same time, carbon dioxide, which is a waste gas produced by the fish's body, moves from the blood into the water. The fish then pushes the water out through the openings behind its gills. This process happens continuously every second of the fish's life. But here is something really fascinating. Water contains much less oxygen than air. Air is about 21% oxygen, while water has only a tiny amount of dissolved oxygen. That means fish have to work much harder to get the oxygen they need. Luckily, nature has given them incredibly efficient gills that can capture oxygen from the water as it flows by. Some fish, like sharks, need water to keep moving over their gills all the time. That's why many sharks are almost always swimming. If they stop for too long, they may not get enough oxygen. However, many other fish can stay in one place because they pump water over their gills by opening and closing their mouths and moving their gill covers. Now, here's another interesting question. Can fish breathe outside water? The answer is not for very long. When a fish is taken out of water, its gills lose the support of the water and stick together. This reduces the surface area available for absorbing oxygen from the air. Even though the air has plenty of oxygen, the fish gills are designed to work only when they are wet and spread out in water. That's why most fish cannot survive for long outside water. But nature always has surprised. Some fish have developed special adaptations. For example, the lungfish can breathe air through lungs, especially when ponds dry up. The mudskipper can spend time on land by keeping its skin and mouth moist, allowing it to absorb oxygen from the air. These are special exceptions, but most fish depend completely on their gills. Now, here's something else to think about. What happens if the water becomes polluted? Pollution can reduce the amount of oxygen dissolved in water. Sometimes too many algae grow because of excess fertilizers washing into lakes and rivers. When the algae die, bacteria break them down and use up a lot of the oxygen in the water. This leaves very little oxygen for fish, making it difficult for them to breathe. In severe cases, many fish can die because there simply isn't enough oxygen left. That's one reason why keeping our rivers, lakes, and oceans clean is so important. Every clean water body helps fish and many other aquatic animals survive. Isn't it amazing how nature has designed different ways for living things to breathe? Humans breathe air with lungs. Fish breathe underwater with gills. Different methods but the same goal, getting the oxygen needed for life. So, the next time you see a fish swimming peacefully in a pond, river or aquarium, you will know the incredible science happening every single second as it breathes beneath the water. Thanks for watching. If you love discovering amazing science facts, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and always stay curious.